All right, guys, let's move on to the, let's go back on to Bitcoin. And then I got some better announcements that we want to go. And I do have a little bit of news that I was kind of looking at. That's some fun stuff. It's good to share with you guys. Huh? Eat this while it's hot. Oh, look at the camera, darling. Guys, I just want to give you that announcement. If you guys see my eyes turn all black and stuff like this, remember, guys, I'm not a reptilian, guys. Although these eggs are delicious. Sorry. No, I'm not a reptilian. I'm using a green screen effect. Behind me is like a blue cloth. You guys can't see. It's a blue cloth. Look, guys, behind me is a blue cloth. Okay. And so I tell the camera to reflect the color blue. Well, I'm looking at the charts reflecting in my eyes. Okay. So if you see blue in my eyes, you're going to see my eyes start to go a little bit glossy right there. Right. See, that's not me being a reptilian. He's not a real Christian. He's the Antichrist.
You reminded me of Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
When he's like, I'm human. Oh, yes, I am human.
Yeah, that's what a reptilian would say. I knew it. That's how you guys know you watch too much conspiratorial documentaries. I'm not saying they're not all true. I love my conspiracies I drink my conspiracy juice just as much as you drink yours. Probably. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys drink it a lot more. But you got to put your cup down sometimes, right? And come back to planet Earth for just a little bit. No, most of you conspiracy persons, you're going to be there's going to be a lot of apologies that are going to be given to you guys, and that's fine. We all have just to keep a balance. Just remember, guys, I just want to let people know that, because this is when my stuff gets on YouTube, or I'll take out clips and I'll put them on YouTube publicly, people will think, and they're like, look, I paused the video exactly 45 seconds and Jason's eyes turned over. Look, he's the devil, Bobby. I tell you, he's the devil, Bobby. And some of you guys are going to think that. Don't think that. I have to give now these. I have to give these kinds of warnings. I saw this from some of these clips. I thought this was really interesting. I like Extra Vod's channel. He really does a great job of collecting a lot of Twitter stuff, so you guys don't have to. National Intelligence Manager for Aviation Office of the Air Force rolled out a new logo over the weekend, and look what it has right there in the National Intelligence Manager Aviation Office. Look at that. Interesting, huh? They actually
saw that today.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a logo. Different planes. And it's very interesting. There's a fourth one. What's this one? We got planes, fighter jets. I think these are like probes.
It's a new technology by military that hasn't been released.
I already know exactly what it was when I said the fourth one. What do you think it is? I'm gonna say this. I'm going to say my guess, and maybe some of you guys will concur. Some of you guys can't explain about it, but I would say probably this is portal technology. Fast track technology. Possibly. Possibly. No one's commenting? Oh, look at them. No one's commenting? Okay.
I think we're on YouTube.
Nothing that can go on YouTube. Yeah, so let me be the guy. I already have my disclosure out where I say everything's just for comedic purposes only, so they can't get me. It's just comedy, guys. It's just comedy. Some stuff that's going on this weekend. Very interesting as we're coming up to the 30th, the next of the hot dates. The 30th is another big hot date. Evacuations underway across Florida. Bumper-to-bumper traffic on I-4 as people move east away from the Tampa area ahead of the Hurricane Ian. Really interesting. Evacuate was one of Mr. Poole's posts back early this year. He often posts very cryptic messages with sometimes few words. Mr. Poole, the world will finish transitioning soon. When you see it, you've seen it all. Listen to this one back from last year. Very interesting stuff. When the lights go out and the world falls asleep, you'll gaze towards a night sky. At a glance, you'll see a newer beginning, the sun shining through. The old world will fade and promptly disappear as new powers emerge and become visible to all. As pyramids implode into dusty red smoke walls, it'll all but be too late to change it. But you've been waiting and watching it through. Don't be surprised. The world will finish transitioning soon, and when we come out, you'll seen it all. Yet not so many. Only a few will stay here to do so. If you have listened, if you have looked, the answers you have all been waiting for will come to you. The past holds a cycle of sorts. If you look deeper, you've seen through it all. But hurry as the clock strikes 2 o'clock, because when they see it hit the 11th hour of week 44 and transition will be over, a cycle 22 will begin. Where will you be to witness it all? Some of the riddlers, many riddlers, all kind of have similar themes. Certain weeks they look forward to. Week 44, I believe, is closest to November, I think it is. Maybe it's now. And I just thought that's kind of interesting because some of the bigger themes from a lot of the riddle communities, guys, there's a lot of stuff, but a lot of it just points to days of darkness, internet blackouts. Some of it points to these big floods that may be coming and nuclear scares. So those are the biggest ones that I'm kind of keeping an eye on. I thought that's very interesting that they a lot of them point to that kind of stuff. And there's one that I really look at because people send me this from time to time, and I'm gonna show it to you. Oh, I don't have it. Oh man, it didn't load. It's probably on my phone. My phone died right before. There was one that I saw that people were saying about the Simpsons show. Some of you guys know the Simpsons show, and they said that the season 20, the next season that just came out, I think it's season 40. They said of the show, the Simpsons, began with the internet not working, and a lot of people believe that the show, the creators of the Simpsons, the creator has or was once part of some kind of looking glass technology, or they saw stuff into the future, or some weird things like that. And in the show, that's why the show often has cryptic messages about the future that keep proving to be right over and over. So some people never heard of that, but there's lots of compilations on the internet over the years about how Simpsons predicted the future. They're the oldest running cartoon show for adults in history. I'm not saying to watch the show, but people sometimes watch the show just to see the cryptic things that are hidden in it, because some of those things are like comms from powers that be. But overall, remember guys, there are two major forces that are going on. And there are people that are the bad guys that have their plans for a new world order and a new world agenda. And there's the good guys. And these are the people of God. And this is what God is doing. He's flipping the tables. And the people, and just recently, I want to thank Wayne's World for sending me the clip from Prophet Robin. I was watching it this morning, and we'll watch it at the end of the class together. It's going to be fun. And we'll just watch it together. But in his clip, he was talking about how the powers that be are doing everything they can to try and stay in control, but they're not going to be able to hold on for longer. They're trying to stay in control because they've had control. If you don't believe it, just look at the endless lockdowns. Look at the endless forced things upon people. Look at all of the corruption from Hollywood on. Just look at it all. And you can see they're rich and grip. Look at all the corrupt politicians in every country of the world. Just look at all, and you guys, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see the grip of that one world order. When they openly use they openly use the words one world order, new world order. I was just listening to in the Philippines of the new president, and he showed up at the United Nations meeting, and I was like, and I paused. I said, Melody, watch this. She was like, I said, what are you watching? She said, I'm watching the president give a speech at the United Nations. I said, pause. Within the first few minutes, he's going to say this. And I told her exactly. I said, he's going to say something about climate change and how we all need to give up our personal control to the government, number one. Number two, he's going to start using words like new world order or one world government or one world order. And Melody's like, are you sure? And I'm like, I said, watch. In just the first few minutes. And what happened? They can't see you shaking your head.
Yes. See, Royal already.
Right. And the truth is that look at the comments in the chat. It's fun. You guys are all like, yes, we know. And the truth is that's exactly what he started seeing in the first few minutes. I think we were watching it live. Yeah, live from the president of Philippines. Wasn't that live?
It was.
Oh, it was live. Okay. And Melody was watching recording. Super interesting. But guys, all of their things they're doing, the lockdowns, passports, all this stuff. Again, for comedic purposes only. Is to give up control to a higher and higher powers that are higher than them. And because of that, we just want to remember they have these plans, and that's just the way it goes. The only savior you got is God. Yes. God is the only one who can flip these things around. They're too bigger. They're too much bigger than us. They're bigger than even governments and plans. We need God's hands to say, no, it shall not happen yet. And if God be for us, then it shan't. But if he says that it's going to end right now and it ends that way, there's nothing you can do. You can't stop the hands of God. And is that biblical? Yes, it's biblical, because there was a time in the Bible where God allowed the people of Israel to be put into captivity. He allowed them to be put into this Babylonian control, and be exiled into Babylon. Okay, Nebuchadnezzar was leading at the time, and Nebuchadnezzar. I just say Nebuchadnezzar. I'm sure that's not the correct pronunciation, but you guys know what I mean, right? And anyway, God's people were allowed to be put under this system. Does that sound familiar to you? I'm going to preach this on Sunday, probably, if the Lord leads me, He lets me. But they were put in the system. And what happened was they were not able to get out, but they wanted to get out of the system. And this is what they said. They said, well, God promised that we were going to be free, so we should be free. So let's revolt, let's rebel against the government. And God said, tell the prophet, and God told the prophets this. He said, tell my people they need to sit down and get comfortable. They need to get married, they need to have some children, and they need to build houses while they're in exile. And the people were like, what? We're only supposed to be here a little bit. And God was like, no, you guys are in timeout. You sinned, you done messed up, you're in trouble now. For the next 80 years, you're going to be here. And you're going to be here for times. And he gave them the actual time. He said for 80 years. And you need to tell them to get comfortable. So what happened? The prophet said, hey, guys, I'm sorry, but this is from the Lord. We're in timeout right now. We're getting spankings. We're in trouble right now. And you know what happened next? They started having dreams. And God spoke and said, hey, what's going on with those people telling them dreams that we're going to rebel against the government? We're going to get out of here. You need to tell the people. You are encouraging them to have these dreams. You false prophets are encouraging them to have these dreams that we're all going to get out right now. But it's not time for us to get out. Okay? And you need to tell them to sit down and get comfortable because anyone who's doing this is leading a rebellion. And I'm not for that right now. So it was really weird because they were in this time where it was their time to be in this exile. But later on, the time was for them to get out. But at that, so we have to kind of understand the times and the seasons that sometimes God will allow us to go through these things, and the Lord allowed it. And then sometimes God will allow us to run away and have that transfer to be the exodus, and God will allow that. And we all have to just, instead of trying to change things all manually, yeah, there's manipulation in the markets. Yeah, there's manipulation in cryptos. Yeah, there's manipulation everywhere. What can we do about it? We can hide ourselves in the Lord. We can pray for his leading and direction and guidance during all these times. Amen? Because really, at the end of the day, that's all you can do. I mean, you can do your best with the charts. You can do your best with the maps. You can do it. But there's a lot of things that are beyond you. I mean, they're beyond the charts. They're beyond the manipulation. The hand of God is going to show himself up in many areas. And there will be this great shaking. And there's going to come a time, and I mentioned this the other day at the end of class, there's just going to come a time where you just got to hold on to your butts. As Samuel L. Jackson would say in the movie Kong. Now, I'm not promoting Samuel L. Jackson. I don't really like the guy, but they're all traveling on their helicopters, and all of a sudden that big gorilla came. And that big gorilla came in Kong, and he grabbed the helicopters out of nowhere, and he started shaking them, and he was right to prophesy to his comrades, hold on to your butts. And really, that was all it really was. It's a silly thing, but the truth is, God is the force that is beyond all of them. We can know what the world, these bad players and their plans are, but there's going to be a day, an intercepting day, where all their plans will be put to an end, where all of it's going to show up. And people are like saying, and Prophet Robin prophesied this. He said it was like a firework that went up, and everybody's like, oh man, it's dead. Nothing happened. We were waiting for this moment, and nothing happened. Is it really going to happen? And all of a sudden, Prophet Robin said this. A big explosion came out, and gold was glittering everywhere. And it was a big explosion. Everybody's like, oh, it's happening. When God does it, it may be hidden from people. Maybe it's hidden from people like us on YouTube because we talk about these things. And these things are known. People watch our videos. And maybe these things are supposed to be hidden communications. Maybe these things are spoken to us that are levels deep that are beyond our communications. I don't know. I'm just giving you an outlet, letting you know that if God's going to do it, he's going to do it. We may stop having to worry about that time, but just trust and be in position. Amen. Thank you, Melody Song. All right.
Thanks, man.
Let's continue with some of the cryptocurrency. So if at this moment, if you guys want to put in the comments a cryptocurrency that you are looking at, we'll do that. And also, if you guys are watching this and I took this clip out and I put it on YouTube, here's the invite for our website. You guys can join us here. Okay, testing. All right, so this is our website. In August, our Thursdays are actually going to be a part of the Word Room. But this is going to be our schedule, okay, for October. Our October is going to look a little bit different. On Sundays we have Bible study, and on Wednesdays we have Bible study. But during the week we have the dive classes, which we talk about cryptocurrencies. I'm going to now make an announcement. So on Luna Classic is the first one. Good. Thank you, Joe Kim. Good to see you here. Ciscoin is a new build. My first build for today is actually a coin called WTK. So I will be doing something called WTK.
You already did Lunacy, right?
Yep, we already did Lunacy. I won't go over Lunat again, but right after the video we'll do that. Ciscoin, if time permits, as superfood. I want to say that the Lord has been showing me, in accordance with the prophecy that I got. So I want to say thank you, Jeanette, as well for that. That the Lord was going to be showing me some things and some new instructions about some things I've been asking for regarding regarding the sword method. And the sword method is about to get a very big upgrade to its arsenal, a very big upgrade. And currently, I'm in all the back testings for it at the moment. So I'm currently in the back testings for it. All my preliminary back testing for this new addition to the sword methods upgrade have been very successful. So I haven't really shared with you all that, but I keep seeing in visions that I'm supposed to pray for more things regarding the segments and the trend lines. So as I'm watching these things in my dreams, I see the truth being revealed, and God showing me things. So there's times when I've had to wake up and Melody's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just there practicing for a few hours. I practice probably more on the charts than all of you guys, even though you guys are learning this stuff. I still practice probably more than all of you guys. As my habits. Just because I do these things doesn't mean at all that I always say I've attained. I'm there. No. I got to get my hands dirty. I got to get my hands in the charts. I got to be putting my hands to the plow, and I do all the time. I'm always asking myself, what did I miss? Just like I have been since I was 18. And because of that, if you guys continue that attitude, you can always be in a humble position to grow and to learn and to receive more. If you ever say like, I'm there, then you can't do anymore. God can't use you anymore. And I once heard this quote: a fruit is either growing or it's dying. A fruit is either growing or it's dying. Think about it. That fruit is either ripening or it's past the point when it's ripening and it's slowly dying. Even if you don't see it dead at the moment, it's slowly decaying. And there's really no middle ground. You have to stay growing. I think you have to stay growing. Okay, as a people, we have to always be moving from glory to glory to glory. We want God to always be able to use us, so we have to stay humble in those areas, saying that I'm not there. So I want you guys to just know that I have been asking the Lord for growth when it comes to certain things, when it comes to the charts, and I'm getting a big upgrade from the Lord. He's showing me some things, and I want you to continue praying because we're going to release that stuff starting in October. At the moment, it looks like I'm going to be being able to release. I feel a lot of peace about what I'm about to release. In October. So if everything goes well, I'm going to release it in October, and everyone in Dive, you're going to see me take a little bit of a back burner on our current method, and I'm going to focus primarily on what's about to happen. With that said, as promised, this week I'm going to be starting to explain parabolics. Okay, I'm going to start explaining parabolics because the new version of sword method, the upgrade that it's going to get, does indeed have a lot to do with parabolics. So I'm going to give you my first versions of all of my knowledge when it regards to parabolics, and then in October I'm going to give you guys some of the advanced stuff about it and how it's going to help you understand some of the biggest transitions of price and when the health comes in, when the strength comes in, when the weakness comes in. Okay. Somebody in the comments says I just collected the dots from Christopher Harris and military intel. Yep. When you listen to the prophets, you're getting pieces together. And here's something that somebody said to me. Somebody had a vision. Can you turn my webcam? Somebody had a vision of me. I want to say about last year, in the beginning of the year last year. And this is what they had the vision of. They saw in the vision that I was sitting at a table with lots of people around me. And a lot of these people were putting the puzzle together, and a lot of people in many such communities, they were putting these pieces together, and Jesus was walking around all the people at the table, and I was one of the people at the table, and we were all standing around with this big puzzle, and these pieces of the puzzle were different prophetic words. They were prophetic, and they were information. And he saw that everyone was putting these pieces together and they were forming the picture. And Jesus was really pleased because he was like, he chose to reveal the picture in these ways to us on the earth. And I think that's just awesome because he didn't just flat out tell everyone. And he's told people pieces, but we don't have timing, or we've seen timings, but we don't know which piece they represent. But as we all put together the dots, they start forming a more cohesive story. And again, that's what I really love to do with the charts, is that I love to put the map together and then read the story. But we also do that with lots of things in this life. So praise God. Melody.
Great Swan is highly probable event with 3 principal characteristics. It is predictable. It carries an impact that can easily cascade, and after the fact, we can conduct an explanation or contact. An explanation that recognizes the probability of occurrence, but shifts the focus to errors in judgment or some other human form of causation.
Causation. Mm-hmm.
A white swan is a highly certain event with three principal characteristics. It is certain, it carries an impact that can easily be estimated, and after the fact, we concoct an explanation that recognizes the certainty of occurrence, but again shifts the focus to errors in judgment or some other human form of process contagion. Yeah.
Liquidity crisis contagion will spread to the United States. Financial instruments like those used in Archegos will blow up across the entire financial sector. Bank of America, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs are rumored to be insolvent, along with others. The super rich will attempt to pull their money out of the banks only to be denied. Wow, super rich. Stock market will drop 20% in its close for the day. Tether and other stable assets will cause falling cryptocurrencies to crash as they become illiquid. Short to midterm, and cryptocurrencies will become worthless. And I personally believe that the big crypto fall is going to happen when Tether stops working. All right, let's get into the things we got. Our first crypto request for today was and then it says Asara is activated. I believe it. If it's gonna be activated, it's gonna be activated now. We're past the 24th and the 22nd. So we'll see stuff happen. Rosh Hashanah, new year, a lot of new stuff. Yeah, that's fine, Troy. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. He may want to watch the video copy because we just got done talking about some really fun stuff. So I'll let him know. Troy, no problem. Okay. Okay. I want to talk to you after class. Can we talk about that more? I want to hear some of your thoughts and opinions. Yeah, I want to hear it. Put as much as you have. And who's that? Who is that guy? Beny. Okay. I'm gonna pull up my map again. We are gonna look at a chart. I got a request from. There's my Shiba map. Remember, we were expecting rounding under here. We got the break underneath here. Anything along this line is still healthy, but we need to get into position. I told you guys that we most likely will probably gonna come to these cuts down here. That's when I want to buy. We came down here. I bought near the lows of this one, around close to 000. That's 4 zeros, 5 zeros, 5099. Okay, so anywhere in these prices, we're still in this area. That's great. That's where I want to be. I believe we're gonna pump and get to around 2050. Okay, I think we're gonna be getting to around 2050. I have my sell just a little bit higher than 2050. Around 21. Our next thundercut area is around 23 to 25, so most likely we're going to come to 23, 25, but I'm going to have some profit take me out right here, and then I'm going to wait for the new behavior. If we get a breakout, great, I'll buy again once we build structure up here, but I also have my low orders in for the hack. So I have some very, very low orders around 7 to 8 zeros. I think I have mine at 8 zeros on my exchange. So if it goes down, I'm gonna buy up the bank, and it doesn't cost much. A couple $100 is really all you need, and it's gonna give you probably more than you'll have spending thousands of dollars right now. Okay, it's gonna give you tons and tons of Shiba, and then hold on for prophetic numbers. So if you hit that prophetic hack, hold on for prophetic targets. Okay, but the current trade right now is rounding here and then getting us up to these. So I think Shiba's gonna pump very soon. My timeline is this is not gonna be much longer because we're already in position. Maybe a couple weeks. Maybe 3 weeks. Okay, at the most. I don't really think it's gonna be long at all. Yep.
Do we still have time to buy those low numbers? Is that green arrow curve line? Are you expecting that green arrow curve, or do we still have?
Yeah, if you see a color next, you know how I give you all the options in various white colors. If you see a color closest to my line, and you see price rounding at those areas, then that usually means I'm more biased towards that. Meaning I really do expect price to go up in these areas. I give you all the various options so you guys know what I'm mostly expecting. Like if we round underneath here, I'm looking for us to slow down on this line because there's still a bunch of consolidations. If we fall all the way down to here, I'm looking for us to repair back up. But the truth is, when I have a color, it's not just an option. It's really what I really think is going to happen. So I really think it's going to happen that we're going to go up to these areas, break out again, and then hit these numbers. And you're there. So if you haven't bought already a bag of Shiba, this is where you want to buy. You want these prices. So all these prices right now, where price is currently at, this is the current map. This is live. So yeah, that's good. So if you guys haven't got some Shiba, I'm bullish on Shiba. This is a good prices for Shiba, according to me. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's go into that request, SYS. So let me start with the farthest data. Now this crypto seems to go back a while. since 2016. So this is a very old crypto that you got. Very interesting when you have double tops like this. Okay, when you have these double tops like this, you can just simply take that same flat line and bring it to the lows. Okay, if you verify it, you're already gonna see that this was correct already. But it's kind of a lot of it's very easy because you can just put these here. When you just see price flat, the trend line is flat. So just draw a flat line right here at the bottom. You're gonna draw here at the core on the monthly chart, guys. I'm drawing on the monthly chart. Okay, that means each one of these is 1 month. Okay, the next one is gonna be down here at the wick, the lowest wick right there. This is not a tutorial, but this is just me showing you what lines I'm drawing. Okay, here's some of the other ones you can look at. Actually, sorry. Here you can see when we did come all the way down, we stopped, pulled up for many months, and then came back down. You can see that we sat down on that line again. You can see it. This is some more verification of what happens. These ones are not so hard. Here's the next one. We came up to this area, came down. You can just see price responded flatly. Broke above, came all the way back down. Flat, very flat. These are easy ones, not so hard, guys. Another hit right here. You guys see it? This area is very close to the mid-phantom, by the way. The mid-phantom is just halfway between here and here. And I'm just going to draw that as a parallel channel just for you guys to see some of the more relevant lines. All right. So your mid-phantom is just halfway, and you can see price sitting on that mid-phantom. Nice and pretty. Bullishness. A little bit of bullishness in here. Okay. Let's draw some more local stuff that we need to pay attention to. Okay. Edelweiss, Edelweiss. Every morning you greet me, soft and white, clean and bright. You look happy to greet me. I would also just take a look for behavior at 0.39 cents. Let you know what's going on. Behaviors above, rounding down here could be a little bit bearish. Breaks above here could be a challenge back to here. Nothing indicating that you're going to break above here. So if you do break above, that would be a big deal. Look for those prices. Point 80 cents. 80 cents, a big deal. Now that we have that on the monthly, let's draw just a little bit more things. Let's take a look at some of the stuff that's going to make some bearishness occur. These bottoms down here to these bottoms here, because they're energy centers, big ones, from our launch. And I normally wouldn't put so much weight on, I don't always put a lot of weight on launches unless price stays there, but we had months of price staying here. So it had its chance to show that this yes was indeed strong. Okay, so as we connect some of these bottoms here at core, you can see that some weakness has started to appear in the charts. When we first came down to this area, we tried to come back up, but then we closed below here, and now we're trying to pump above here. Superfood, I would really pay attention to this number right here, and that number is going to be 0.16 cents. If you don't get a close in the next 2 days and 23 hours, that's basically 3 days. You got 3 days to close right below. If price moves from current price of 17 and closes at, what is this again, 16.25, then you're bearish. You are very bearish. So you don't want to close below that line. Otherwise, you should be going down, because that's a big deal. You need it to stay healthy for this trend to continue. Otherwise, it's just getting in the way. So you may look for prices to try and challenge these lines again, but for the most part, you're not sitting pretty. You're no longer sitting pretty during those times. There is a little bit of hope for you in the wicks that can buy you just a little bit of time to get out. But I think for the most part, everything's going to be revealed, and that hope is going to be here. So you may, it's a little lower, so you may look for prices to, just say, for example, you close right here, right on that line underneath, you may look for the next months to slam us all the way down to these prices. But at the moment, it's not attractive because you're playing with too much fire right now. 7 cents.
I don't have skin in the game on this coin. I've just been looking at it.
No, well,
but I would like to get the lowest price possible.
Yeah, you can tell whoever's your crowd or your team, it's not as attractive because You shouldn't really be underneath this. You should have bounced on her, and you know you did. You know you could have because you stopped right on it. Okay, and it just happens to be mid phantom, and you're just kind of phasing through. You see how we're just phasing through this line? If it was really bullish, it should have bounced again on here, but it didn't.
It's tied to Ethereum and Bitcoin. It's like a hybrid coin.
Oh,
that's
really?
probably why.
Okay, SYS let's see, September 27th, 2022. www.patreon.com/J. And you know, I don't always look at the monthly chart, but if you get enough candles where you can look at it to see if there's any major stories that are happening, because sometimes you're at those lines. Sometimes you're like right in the middle and there's nothing to worry about, right? But sometimes you're just right on there, and you know, it's a big deal. And so you got 2 days left to try to get above that level and close. But if you don't do it, you may be looking at 7 cents, and then any structures below there or closes below there the next month could lead us back all the way down to some of these lower prices, if not the wick. And so I'll give you those lower prices in the wick right now, and then the map will be complete for the most part. You don't really.
So hopefully it goes below 16.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
If you're looking for something to short or buy later on to get some lower prices, if you know it's gonna.
I want to buy. I want to buy this coin, but I wanted to wait until I can get better prices.
Guys, I'm going to put the 28th for me because it's here, the 28th, where I'm at. Okay. All right. What was the next one?
AMC.
AMC. The movie theater.
Thank you, Jason.
No problem, Superfood. I would be bullish after getting and closing above 1685. I would be bearish under 722. We're almost at 722. We're at these areas again. AMC has a correlation between ETC. They follow each other. Currently dangerous for me. We need structure. That was September 3rd. Hey, can you see me? Did my camera go away?
You just did the iPad.
I was like, oh, did it break? Thanks, Melody. There's some weaknesses coming into AMC. Wow, I think so. We got some supports at these areas. They were all broken. I'm going to delete this now. The price is no longer respecting that sword cut. On AMC, you're about to come to an area of weaknesses. Okay, just right now, there was some support here, but I still want to get the breaks above here before we start getting bullish, and we're losing our hope as we start closing underneath here. You can see that we bounced on these lines several times, hit the tops once again, but this time when we came down there, we stopped. Only bounced just a little bit before coming down and closing. So this close right here on the weekly for last week was a big deal. We got now 2 more days, and we're coming back to the step up right here in this step up area around the $7.60 area. And now we're about to get these closes. I think we're going to challenge these bottoms once again. Okay, so the next bottom is here, and I'm going to give you the vortex around the December 4th, December 4th prices, because you may come here and spike and just hit that down here. But the truth is that it's not looking so good for AMC at the moment. In fact, just to take away, unless we can, I don't think we're going to get this vortex up here anytime. So I'm going to really fade that out, as well as make it thin. Okay, but letting you guys know that there's a possibility you can still round if you can survive in here. But if the next 2 days proves a little bit bearish for us, look for us to almost certainly go to some of these lower prices down here, closer to the 425. Okay, I am not bullish AMC.
Next is, are you doing AMC now?
I am not bullish AMC at the moment. Unless we close above the point $7.60, that would be a little hopeful, as it is closes below there. This step up area would possibly see us down to the 4.25 area. Okay, according to our previous maps that we've drawn. Okay, I'll be looking for that. Everything in this video is not financial investment or trading advice of any kind. Everything is just for entertainment, education, and competing purposes only. Bear in mind that I eat red crayons for breakfast. Please remember not to trade more than you can afford to lose. And please especially be aware of leverage trading during these high volatile times as we get into some of the more prophetic events. A lot of the charts will stop and cease from their current versions because there's a lot of external factors we have to work with. So please read between the lines per my YouTube disclosure. I'm not a financial advisor.